First of all, it's not the room that Jesus had his supper in. This whole complex was built in the 11th century by Crusaders, based on some tradition or something that the event took place over here. But when they built this, they built it 1,000 years after Jesus. Now, as they built this complex, the foundations, they have some local hands. They hire local people and they start building. Some of the builders, as they were digging the foundations or something whatsoever, they stumbled upon an opening of a cave. And up until now, this is proven in archaeology as well, digs that were done in the 80s. When they go into the cave, and they find themselves standing in a hall that leads to another big room. We found the hall, but we never found the big room. And inside of this big room, they light up a torch, and oh my gosh, they feel like they win the lottery. They found a whole bunch of gold and diamonds and silver, and they're very, very happy. So they start filling their pockets up with all of this wealth. And as they're about to leave, they hear a spirit, a sound of a spirit saying to them, "Don't touch none of this. This all belongs to my servant David." And they come out of there and they're all shooken up for a few days before they could ever get back to themselves. This story is left to us by a man by the name of Ovadia Bartenua. Is that his name, or was it actually Benjamin from Tuleda? One of these two, who was a very serious traveling man, a rabbi, who would travel throughout the whole Middle East in the 12th and 13th century, and he leaves a diary. Every place he gets to, how many Jews are there, what is the population, what do they do, how many synagogues, and how many people come to synagogue on Friday and Shabbat. A very, very serious diary that the academics also lean about this very, very much whenever you want to learn about the Jewish life in the medievals. So it's not just, it's very strange to find such a story like that in his diary, but that's what he tells when he gets here. Anyhow, but never mind that. But ever since that, they start recognizing here also the tomb of David, ever since that story goes around. And then what happens? The Jews have a synagogue down below, the Christians have their church up here, and they start fighting over the building. As time goes by, they say this is the tomb of David, and the others say this is the last upper room. And as time goes by, they make the mistake and take it to the authorities. Mamluk at the time, Muslim. And the Muslims say, David, we recognize David, who is a great prophet of God. And last upper room, Jesus, we recognize Jesus, he's a great prophet as well. You know what? No longer is it a Jewish place, no longer is it a Christian place, but from now on, it is Muslim. And this was shortly after the building was built, before many of the splits in Christianity, they turn it into a mosque. And indeed, you will see in there a mihrab pointing towards Mecca, and a minaret, and a minbar where the Muslim preacher would go and preach every Friday. So, and that's how it was for all these years, up until 1948, up until the Jews get their hands on it. And the Jews open it up for all of public to come and pray in. And usually, whenever the Jews come to any holy site, the first thing they do is hand it over to the religion to take care of it. Like when we took the Temple Mount, we handed it over to the Waqf right after. There's this respect of Department of Religious Communities from the Ministry of Interior. They have a whole minister actually for this. And over here, the Jews didn't have nobody to return it to. Since it was all these splits came after, and all of them were saying, no, it's ours, it's ours, it's ours. Well, very strange, the Israeli government found itself in charge of the Last Supper room, where according to our faith, the new covenant took place. And that is why you have a guard here from the Prime Minister's office, Shalom, who is watching the Last Supper room where Jesus held up that cup and that bread. What a coincidence. So we'll be going to visit that site. Just close the door, the last one.
Feels good.
And upon themselves between